I have to bring up something. Ever since the last episode ended, Fievel has been sending me hate messages.
No, I want the banter to be about this. Fievel, explain yourself. What have you said?
Yeah, he's DMing you. He slid into your DMs.
I feel like it would be good to have Tyson read them, but I feel like it's also better to have Fievel read them and to have Tyson fact check it. So, Fievel, can you please read me the messages that you sent? I want to hear them from your mouth, please.
One just literally says, "I hate you."
No, Tyson.
No, I sent him a nice pic of a squirrel, like, riding a snake, and it's some, like, taxidermy, and it just says, like, how taxidermy should be done. And it's just, like, some chipmunk riding a squirrel, or a fucking snake. And then he's like, LOL, pay attention. And then I just said, I hate you, angry face. And then I paid attention.
Okay, I'm sorry, that's it?
That's it.
No. So he keeps sending me pictures of my house saying, I know where you live.
It's true.
Should I be concerned, or should we get started?
Let's see where this episode goes, and then
I am the police.
And this was what I was concerned about in 6th grade when the guy said, I want to be a cop. I said, no, I'm young and I know jack shit about the world, but that's not good. That's not going to work. And as he grew, it did not get better. It did not get better. It got worse. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dicey D20. My name is Noah, Dungeon Master, and I am joined here by our players. We have Fievel Mausentraub. Fievel, how's it going, my dude?
You know, other than betrayed a little bit. Fievel doesn't know, but the player is very betrayed right now.
Okay, here's where I'm coming from, and correct me if I'm wrong. You have been saying since time immemorial on this podcast that you're not part of the group, you don't like anyone, you're not their friend, and now, you're feeling betrayed?
Yes.
Don't you have to feel like friends, or at least part of something, to feel betrayed by it?
I mean, I always thought I was in the group, but I don't need them, but yeah, I still want to be part of the group.
Well, that's good to know. We are also joined by Tyson McKay. Tyson, how is, you expressed concern at the end of last episode. I just want to know if that's carrying through to today.
I mean, I think it was valid concern. I don't think I'm going to dwell on it.
I think it was just the booze talking.
Nope. The people who need to be concerned are concerned. And that's about where we need to be.
Okay, good stuff. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. We're also joined by, I was going to say Fievel again.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
We're also joined by Dabbledob Doppet. Dabbledob, how are you doing?
Mighty fine, man. Living the dream.
Living the dream, playing D&D with your friends.
Always.
That's what it all comes down to. And we're also joined by Gregory, or Gragrock the Warforged. How's it going, Gragrock?
I'm deeply concerned.
Deeply concerned, okay. You want to express some of that concern with us today?
No, I mean, we all know what the concern is about. It's about Fievel, you know?
Everyone's concerned.
Oh my God.
Everyone who should be concerned
Tyson's
is
in my head now, man.
Why does everyone believe the blind guy?
I'm worried. I'm worried.
Sometimes, blind guys with the monk vibe going on, they have wisdom. They have knowledge. Maybe Tyson McKay just all of a sudden has wisdom and knowledge.
Doubt it.
Maybe he's just speaking mad truth and no one can fight him on it.
Maybe.
Well,
I'll just start speaking in riddles.
You can't hurt a blind man.
You shouldn't.
You should.
You can.
I was going to say, you easily could. Unless it's Daredevil, then you'd have a tough time hurting him.
Who would like to give us a recap of last episode for 400 experience points?
Going once, going twice.
I'll do
Sold.
it.
To Tyson McKay.
Alright, so let me break it down for you. We all finished off for 3 days. Dabbledob and Gregory did a little bit of shopping, a little bit of drinking, and Tyson and Fievel did a little bit of flying back to Malvista. We got back, got on the ship. Before that, there was a bit of a tussle between Fievel and Dabbledob on who gets to sit on Greg's shoulders.
They said shit on. And I was just like, wait, what?
To be honest, that might be what I said.
Bathroom himself on
Yeah, and I don't know if that ever actually got resolved, but We got on the ship, we started going, did some talking about Fievel behind his back, about how he's kind of lost it a bit.
Unhinged, I think, is a good word to describe Fievel at this moment.
Yes.
Not that I would use that because I'm the DM and I'm impartial.
It was a loving concern for the guy.
Sure.
And then we discussed going to the Cobalt Isles. We talked about the cities that were along the way, the route we were taking, and where we want to land once we get there. I think that's where we left off.
Indeed, you are correct. That is where you guys left off. Tyson McKay, take your 400 experience points. You definitely earned it. Do we have any questions, comments, or concerns before we begin?
All concerns were expressed last week about Fievel.
Well, you'll notice that there's questions, comments, and concerns. The emphasis not being on concerns, though that seems to be where you guys have been at lately. Any questions? Any comments?
Is Chomper just flying high and over the ship type thing right now?
Yeah, as a Drake, he prefers to be in the air. If he ever feels the need to rest his wings, he'd probably just swim alongside the vessel. But we'll get to that point when we start to narrate a little bit about your journey to Alathrian, which, as Ari, the captain of the Royale, said, was nearly 2 weeks of a journey.
Oh my god.
2 weeks real time.
Yeah, so
We're going to be here forever.
Buckle up, listeners.
It's going to be 2 years real time for you guys.
I think you guys know that's not what I meant when I said 2 weeks of journey. It was 2 weeks in-game, roughly 14 minutes out of game. No, but last we left off, you guys had just finished your conversation with Ari the gambler in the captain's quarters. Ari looks to you all and he says, "Your quarters are below the deck with the crew. There are hammocks available for each and every one of you, if you so choose. And of course the latrines are down there as well. Food is served bright and early in the morning, at midday, and in the evening. And you can help yourself to any fresh water and any alcohol you find on the vessel."
Dangerous thing with Dabble Dub around.
It'll be all gone by the end of the trip, but hey, we got some more.
Okay, he looks to you all and he says, "I have some duties to attend to, so if you have any questions, you can direct them to Mr. Vane or myself, and we will help you as best we can. Try to stay out of the crew's way, but just know, thieving, murder, and other such atrocities not allowed on the Royale, and Mr. Vane will see to it that anyone who is found to be stealing, lying, cheating, or any such thing will be held accountable for their actions, as the quartermaster did his job."
Walk
What
the
about
plank.
pranks?
Walk the plank.
What about pranks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no one likes pranks, Tyson. No one likes being the subject of them. I mean, if you feel like you got a lighthearted one that you want to play, I feel like that might be fine. Understand that these are hardened sailors, right?
Cellophane on the toilet. You got it.
Okay, perfect. the best kind of prank. All right. So, gentlemen, the rest of the day spent on the Royale is fair seas and blue skies. During these days, you are not required to help necessarily, as you are paying for voyage across to the Cobalt Isles. What you can do with your time, if you so choose, is you can attune to items, have conversations. You can spend your time in the evenings gambling with crew members or practicing certain skills. It is truly up to you guys how you'd like to spend your time between here and Alathrian.
Is there a crow's nest?
Yes.
Is anyone up there? I guess I don't know, but
Yes, there is always a sailor up in the crow's nest.
can I take shifts up there?
They will allow you to sit up there. They won't allow you to be the only one up there with responsibility on your shoulders.
Okay.
I hear things.
I hear water. Yeah, okay. I'll go up there and attune to some of my stuff during the weeks that follow.
Fantastic. So for 2 weeks, I mean, it looks like, and this is just my calculations as far as what items you guys have. Dabbledub, you have the Wand of Hydrokinesis, the Wand of the War Mage, the Robe of Scintillating Colors. You also have the Underfoot Ring, the Ring of Wood, and the Ring of Water Walking.
Yep.
Gregory, you have Slime, the Battle Axe. You have the Spell Sponge Shield, Ring of the Champion, and Ring of Protection. Tyson, you've got Boots of Levitation, Cloak of Protection, Rogar's Centurion Spear, and Fievel's got the Wraith's Cloak. Now, the important thing to recognize here, and this, I guess, will only apply to Dabbledub, you can only have 2 rings active at a time. One on each hand.
Yeah.
You cannot have 10 rings, one on each finger. You're not a magical warlord. You're just
But I can get this little stick that I can hold a whole bunch of rings on, and then...
The Infinity Gauntlet.
He's speaking about There's a magical item that one of our players got in a different game that is called the Rod of Rings, and there are 10 slots for 10 different rings to be held on the rod, and you can technically be attuned to 10 rings and use them all.
Bam!
But that item has not been found in this game yet, so
I will find it.
well, I don't even know if I'm going to allow it. Okay, so gentlemen, here's how attunement is going to work. Typically, what I would require if you were attuning to one certain item is kind of a description of how you're attuning to it, what you're doing, and a little bit of time spent. I mean, the actual rules of D&D just state that you guys need a short rest to attune to an item. I feel like 2 weeks, more than enough for you guys to, if you choose to, spend some good hard time studying these items and attuning to them. I feel like you'll have no issue. What we can do is I'll do a little bit of a montage over the 2 weeks, and then we can be heading towards Alathrian with you guys attuning to items.
I have one item that I think I'll give. Well, I'll go up to Fievel during one of the days.
Okay.
And
You told lies about me! One of the sailors said something!
One of the sailors.
Okay, Fievel, I'm gonna need you to leave storyline and plot development to me, but no sailor has told you anything about what was said. And understand that what was said was solely out of concern, my friend.
They're out to get me. They want my Drake!
I don't think anyone wants your Drake.
I do.
I mean, nobody's giving it away.
I don't even want the one head. I want it to be gone forever.
yeah, so I approach Fievel during one of the days, and I pull out the Centurion spear that Rogar had, and I say, I think you can make better use of this than I could. I already have some stuff of Rogar's. I feel it's only fair that you have something.
I go to my hands and knees and I start crying and I say, I missed my sword of speed, damn it.
Was that the one sword that you had for like a day?
Yes.
What happened to it?
Some ugly rat, uglier than me, took it. He knocked me out. He choked me out, actually. Yeah. He went to go knock me out, but I was pretty sly about it, and I dodged it. And then he started choking me out, and I turned into his boss, thinking he wouldn't choke out his boss, but the guy actually got hard on it, so it was kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a weird story for what I asked, but...
Plus 100 experience points, Tyson.
I mean, yeah, I've been using tridents, and I guess that's pretty much it, so I can try it. If it's not really for me, I'll give it back to you, but thanks. I give him a hug, yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, so 4 furry arms envelop you, Tyson.
Now I'm jealous.
Maybe you should pee on him. So 4 furry arms envelop you, Tyson McKay. And as you pass the Centurion spear over to Fievel, Fievel, this was Rogar's preferred weapon of choice. The Centurion spear, doing additional damage when thrown and also returning to the user's hand.
Oh.
Which might help when you're flying, is what I was thinking.
Ooh, that's true.
Tyson's a monk now, he's a strategist.
He's learned a lot in the past couple of days.
I kill Fievel while he's looking at the spear.
What the fuck is wrong with both? Just when you're getting somewhere with them.
It's too close.
Okay. So, Fievel, you are now in possession of Rogar's Centurion spear. I'll leave you and Tyson to the rest of your conversation.
I say, get it. No, I don't know. He hugged me, and then...
He's so flustered by the hug.
I embrace him back, and then, release and give him the spear.
I don't let go.
I know what you said about me, you piece of shit.
You better sleep with your eyes open. Oh, wait a second.
Plus 200 experience points. Is there any kind of emotional talk you guys would like to have now that you're being friendly to each other?
Listen, Fievel, I have some concern about Dabbledob and Gregory. I think they're going to betray.
Plus 500 experience points.
I don't know. I don't think we have too much to talk about right now. Friendly banter over the next few weeks.
Yeah, ask him how the non-vision life's going.
Still getting used to it. Just trying not to fall off the boat.
Yeah, no, good call. Same here. Never been on a ship before, Didn't really need them out in the Ramovsky tribe. We mainly worried about large animals and humans antagonizing us, but Yeah, so this is all new for me too. I threw up a couple times downstairs, don't tell anyone.
Plus 100 experience points.
Gross, but okay, I won't tell anyone. Yeah, no, I've never been on a boat either, so the first time for everything, Fievel.
Wow. Alright, well, yeah, let's you off. I'm gonna try and figure out what this cloak does, and I throw on my race cloak. And thanks
Where'd
for
you
the weapon here, and I'll just jab the air and hope no one walks into my jabbing.
Okay, sounds good.
Son of a bitch.
So that's a good point for us to kind of lead into attunement. Over the next 2 weeks, the journey to Alathrian is relatively sheltered from large storms. You guys don't really experience any kinds of inclement or dangerous weather. Rain does hit a few nights during your trip, and the sea becomes a little bit choppy and a little bit stormy at that point, but nothing that the Royale and nothing that Ari can't handle. Your days are spent attuning to weapons and to magical items, kind of unlocking and uncovering their secrets, whether this is through manipulation of the item, like the Centurion Spear, whether this is through...
Tell me your secrets!
whether this is through screaming at the weapons and the items repeatedly to divulge their secrets, or, through the wizard route, which is typically investigation and intelligence and the use of the manipulation of it mentally, right? Yeah. So over the 2 weeks, Dabbledob, you attune to your Wand of Hydrokinesis and Wand of the War Mage, as well as your Robe of Scintillating Colors, the Underfoot Ring, and you may choose one of the two for Ring of Wood or Water Walking.
Wood.
Okay.
Yeah, it's our only healing. We better have that one.
Fantastic. Gregory, yours are a little bit more challenging. Dabbledob's able to cast any spell through wands and thereby become attuned to it and unlock their powers. Robe of Scintillating Colors, relatively easy as well, another intelligence one, same as his rings. The Ring of the Champion, you very easily attune to quite quickly. And you already have a Ring of Protection on the other hand, which you have attuned to in the past, correct?
Yeah, I was already attuned to that.
Slime, however, is a weapon that's going to be required to be used in combat to gain attunement to it. So while you can investigate it a fair amount and so in doing so, you're able to determine that slime is made of some sort of an actual organic material. It looks like it's been crafted into a battle axe shape, and it appears that the center of the haft is very hard, like a core-like substance, and the haft, or the tip of the battle axe, has greenish and yellowish oozing slime, which secretes from what has been shaped or shafted into a blade. So it's not made of metal or typical weapon substance. It seems to be made of what looks to be like organic material. So you're able to kind of understand slime a little bit more and how you're going to have to attack with it and adjust your fighting style. But to gain full attunement to it, you're going to need to start using it in combat. Just kind of the way that it goes. The Spell Sponge, however, shield absolutely can attune to while you're on the vessel. Dabbledob can cast minor spells towards you, things like Magic Missile and stuff like that, and you can very easily absorb them on the shield and gain attunement to that.
Okay.
Tyson McKay, your Boots of Levitation.
Yeah.
I foresee only one issue with this.
I got a plan.
No. I see a problem. No.
I take the rope from Rogar's pack and I tie myself to the boat while I'm doing it.
That is very smart, Tyson McKay. As if you are levitating off of a moving object, and that moving object continues to move forward. You can levitate off of water with these boots, but I mean, you're just going to be off the ship. So, no, that's smart. You are absolutely able to attune to the Boots of Levitation, as well as to the Cloak of Protection. Fievel, you are able to attune to the Wraith's Cloak. It takes actually longer than almost any other object that anyone else needs to attune to on their journey, but you do eventually attune to the Wraith's Cloak, uncovering its secrets and learning to use it adeptly.
Awesome. And the spear?
The Centurion Spear is another challenging one. Same as Gregory, you're able to kind of investigate as much as you can about the properties of the spear, but as far as gaining full attunement to it, you will need to use it in combat.
So, can I help them attune by using, my intelligence and telling them maybe, deeper secrets of the weapon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, for slime, it will be challenging. You can do an investigation or a history or a memory check to see if you've uncovered anything like this before, but you need to do an actual kind of analysis of the substance which comes out of slime for that. For the Centurion Spear, it's actually a little bit easier. You've delved into dwarven ruins before, and you know this is of ancient dwarvish make, with magic imbued into it in the very beginning of its forging process. So you can kind of tell Fievel a little bit more about the Centurion Spear than you can tell Gregory about slime.
Alright. But, like, does that help them attune?
Yeah, any kind of information that you can give someone about any of these items definitely helps.
All right.
You want to really help me? Let me hack you a bit, a little. Hack you up.
Is there not like a post that you can fucking hit, man?
I don't think you get it. This slime's going to explode. I can't explode it on this boat, man.
Well, can I do like a minor illusion of like a person and him like hack at it? Does that help?
So an illusion is simply that, an illusion. There's no physical material there, and it's not real combat.
Could I just stone skin myself?
You could stone skin yourself, but these explosions are... you're definitely not going to want to do this on a boat. Yeah. I mean, you can if you... Yeah, look, you can do whatever you want. This is the game that we're in, but I recommend perhaps not doing it on a vessel.
It's okay. As soon as we step off this ship, I'm going to hack someone apart.
A friendly tribe. Hey guys, how's it going? Oh god.
So, I'm going to hand each of you 1,000 experience points for attuning to various magical items on your journey across to Alathrian. So, the days are long and spent under the sun, the nights fairly restful and peaceful, and you guys quickly find that sleeping aboard the vessel in the hammocks or sleeping aboard the vessel and standing and powering down, Gregory, very restful as the ship kind of rocks you guys to sleep. If you so choose, you can spend some time gambling with any of the men or talking to any of the men or inquiring or speaking with anyone. So if there's any type of conversations you'd like to have, let me know now before you guys reach Alathrian.
I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty busy attuning, so I don't have time.
Yeah, no time for that shit.
No.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I have no need for such comforts.
Plus 100 experience points. That is the most Gregory thing you've ever said.
Oh, shit.
And Fievel, Tyson, anything else you guys would like to do or say before we move forward?
I was to say, every once in a while I'll fly up and keep Chomper some company and just chat with him about, I don't know, ship gossip. Yeah.
Ship gossip. So then Larry turned to Bob.
Are these the names you think that they have? I can give you some of the names of various crew members that are aboard the vessel.
Yeah, Larry and Bob. I just gave you two.
I believe it or not, neither have no names, Larry or Bob, on this list.
Well, now they are.
Yeah, we haven't cared much for names.
What's the like
to the
shortest, squattiest, fattest one?
Shortest, squattiest, fattest one would be Claxton. He's a gunner.
Clapper.
And they call him No Fingers. He's missing 4 fingers.
Larry.
All from one hand?
No, 2 different hands. He's a gunner. He's one of the men who operates the ballista.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe it's all
How can he fucking pull the trigger?
He has fingers. He just doesn't have 4.
He just doesn't have a full handful.
What kind of
Yeah, as a gunner, there's a fair amount of danger in this. And when you're loading those, if those ballista go off as you're loading them, I mean, you can have fingers and other stuff ripped off.
He's crap at reloading is what I'm hearing.
I'm not a fucking idiot.
Okay, yeah, no, sure. Pretend you guys know him.
Damn, Larry.
You don't know Claxton's story. Leave him alone.
We know enough. We've seen enough.
Reload.
We've seen enough Claxtons in our time.
I know him. He doesn't know me, but I know him.
You done?
I could be.
So during the weeks, can I just I don't know how I'll do it, but just practicing getting around blind. I don't know, walking around the ship a bit, trying not to knock into people and...
Absolutely. You definitely can.
I can play hide and seek and you can try and find me.
Okay. But I don't actually try and find him.
Tyson?
Plus 500 experience points. Everyone has a very, very calm journey to Alathrian. That Fievel's hidden for 2 weeks. Tyson, yeah, so you begin to try and navigate your way around the ship. I mean, what anyone's going to do when they can't see is try and draw a mental map in their head, right? So how many steps is it along the side rail of the ship before I reach the stairs? Okay, how many steps is it up? Okay, how many steps left towards the helm? You're trying to mental map out the ship. In doing so, one day, walking your way along the side of the vessel with your hand on one of the banisters, a voice speaks close to you and says, "You're doing much better since I first saw you."
I'm not used to hearing a voice.
It is Amara.
Oh, I thought it was the bodiless voice, but okay, that makes sense. Yeah, thank you. I've been practicing the last few week or whatever it's been.
I have seen. No, truly, it's quite a feat for one so late in life to become blind and adapt to it so quickly.
What am I hearing?
Damn it. Phone's on silent.
It was.
She says, I brought a staff, a walking stick, really, for my journey, but I feel like you might need it more.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Wait here, I'll be back.
Okay.
Start walking.
It's a trap.
Okay,
Knocks
a
me
few
off the
minutes
ship.
later,
What happened to Tyson? I don't know. I just kind of disappeared one day.
A few minutes later, Amara returns, and taking one of your hands, she places a walking stick in your open palm. It is nearly as tall as your shoulders, and it looks like that it's been wrapped with some type of cord or cloth around ideal spot for the hand to rest.
I'm Avatar now. Need to go bald.
What?
No? Doesn't he have a staff?
He's referencing the children's show, I believe.
Oh, Avatar the
Like the
Airbender.
Airbender,
Yeah.
I thought you were saying Avatar like the
blue people.
blue people.
Yeah.
I was like, staff,
what?
bald. I think they had hair. They had those things that they plugged in. They plugged in.
The hair they plugged into their animals.
Yeah.
Stay away from Chopper.
Get over here. I gotta put something in you.
And plus 400 experience points. To know I was going to take it away or give it. I am just... Okay, so she has handed you the walking stick.
I give it a few taps around and I say, "This is perfect. Thank you."
She nods her head at you and she says, it's no problem. Well, I'd best be going. Take care, Tyson.
Okay. Thank you. I'll probably see you soon. It's a very small ship.
She does smile, though you don't see it. She says, yes, I'll see you soon.
Quit flirting with me. You're a Rogar's girl.
Alright, gentlemen, is there anything else anyone would like to do on the journey across?
Well, I think I should go all monk and just meditate on the crow's nest.
Fantastic. Tyson McKay, you do so.
But I want to do it so that it makes it awkward for the other guy up there.
Oh, it's awkward for him.
I go,
Okay.
join in, Tim.
No, the man up top is Hadley, and Hadley is an able-bodied sailor. He is the man who sits in the crow's nest.
No fingers, toes gone?
No, Hadley's got all his fingers.
Able body, yeah. He's just trying to rub it into Tyson now.
Do I become friends with him over the journey? Because I go up there so often?
You do. Hadley is actually from Agaport, the northern city at the tip of Alathrian, and he has been in the trades and sailing business his entire life.
Hadley, I'm going to talk to you about the other three. They're going to betray us. I swear.
This bit is gold. I'm going to give 450 experience points for that. No, Hadley actually is quite kind to you, Tyson, asking you about your life, asking you about your friends and your journey, so you're able to tell him as little or as much as you'd like.
My God, Hadley, pay attention. You got an important job up there.
His only job is to see through the spyglass and look for other masts on the horizon. It's an important job, for sure.
There's no time for talking. Focus up. God damn it, Hadley.
But he can talk during that job.
No.
No, I can't.
No. I like my ship hands silent and focused, okay?
How many ship hands have you had? And also, ship hand?
Ship hand.
You would know that that's not the terminology.
But it's our
if you've
slang.
ever had a ship hand,
That's
quote unquote.
what we call them, okay? I've been around many years.
He's been around, okay?
Many years. Don't try and change my old ways.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks, man.
I'm not trying to change your old... I'm trying to determine whether or not you've had old ways with boats. I don't think you have.
Of course.
Think of all the adventures that we've gone on. You
We've
say
been on
we've
boats.
never been on a boat?
Oh,
Tons
you've
of
been on
boats.
boats before.
Yeah, exactly.
Like rowboats.
Yeah, but you're saying it like this is how I like my ship hands, like you've had them before.
We have had them. Of
course.
No, like you've owned vessels and run vessels.
What if I have?
What do you mean? What if I have? Have you or haven't you? This is the question.
We'll never know.
Idiot. Anyways, it's deck hands, not ship hands. And
I like ship hands.
I call them ship hands.
able-bodied sailors can carry out many different tasks. They're not like strictly doing one thing, typically, right? Like riggers are always going to be working on the sails. Carpenters are going to be repairing aspects of the ship. Gunners working in the gun stations. But able-bodied sailors can sometimes just be jacks of all trades. They can do multiple different things.
Those are the guys that die.
Okay. Any conversation you'd like to have with Hadley, Tyson McKay?
Yeah, I just converse with him about life and Just talk to him.
Ask him if anyone's ever died in his arms before.
I just died in your arms tonight.
Plus 1,000 experience points. You took what would have been otherwise a terrible start to a conversation. Has anyone died in your arms before? And you turned it into something beautiful.
Turn it into a musical, baby.
Yeah, I don't know. Nothing too serious. Just, where he's been in life, what he's journeyed to, how he's got there, and yeah.
Yeah, it appears that Hadley's been working under Ari, the captain, for quite some time. And he alludes to a time before Ari was an on the up and up captain. So he might have been with Ari in his pirating days. Nearly 2 weeks to the day, there is a time, Tyson McKay, where you're up meditating, and to the left, the loudest that Hadley's ever spoken before is when, spyglass up to his eye, he calls out, "Land ho! Alathrian in the distance!"
So that's how you use that.
Hey, you're saying it wrong. Should have said it a long time ago.
Okay, so Ari steps to the bow of the ship near the bowsprit, as does Mr. Vane and other sailors, as they raise spyglasses towards the island. Are you guys going to the bow as well, or are you just going to hang out where you're at?
I don't need a spyglass, I just squint.
Just squint. Sit there and focus.
Does anyone else?
My perception is just off the charts.
Need a spy?
I don't need a
It's an
spyglass.
audio
I just
podcast. You
squint
have to
on
understand
his
Gregory
shoulders.
is squinting like he's really spying something there. That's good.
I just squint on his shoulders and I can see even farther.
That's not how vision works.
I turn to Tyson and I say, what do your elf eyes see?
Okay. Ari removes his spyglass from his sight. He passes it over to Dabbledob.
Who smashes it and says, "I don't need this."
What is this?
What do you say? Blind?
Take a look.
Okay, gentlemen, Alathrian is within sight, and the island on the horizon is immense, gargantuan in size. It almost, as you cannot see the actual defined borders of it, looks to be like you would think returning to Malvista would look like. Like the island is that vast and expansive. The wind picks up as the Royale reaches ever closer to Alathrian, and the seas become rough. The island appears quite mountainous towards the northern section, a little bit flatter towards the south, but as you guys approach closer and closer, huge juts of sharp rock actually protrude from the sea around the vessel. And Mr. Vane is at the helm, trying to make sure that the vessel stays on course. Now, heading towards the immense island, the rain begins to pour down a little bit more heavily, and it's kind of a white-knuckle crossing for the next 4 hours as you guys come closer and closer to Alathrian. Ari is using a spyglass, and he is actually up on the second rung of the mast, looking towards Alathrian and trying to spot the Enora, or the entrance way to the island. Ari points over the storm and yells above the winds, and he says, "Hard to starboard, Mr. Vane." And Vane, you can see the helm or the wheel of the vessel turning very quickly as the Royale passes jutting rocks and shallow reefs and heads towards a section of kind of muddyish brown water that seems to be mixing with the salt water near the island. Ari shouts again, "Lower the sails! Lower the sails!" And the riggers begin to lower the sails as the ship enters the mouth of the river. As the sails are hoisted, lowered, and then wrapped and corded, Ari yells out, "Oars out!" And men begin to flood down to the lower decks as oars jut out from either side of the Royale and begin to pull very tightly so that the vessel can enter the mouth of the river and isn't, pushed back out to sea. Right? That would be very dangerous. The vessel doesn't have any ability to maneuver with its sails kind of drawn in. It can easily be dashed against jutting out rocks and shallow reefs. So, the oars begin to sweep in unison, carrying the Royale forward and into the Enora, the jungle of the Alathrian swallowing the river, and the ship traveling along it. Gentlemen, congratulations for reaching Alathrian and for entering the Enora. For this part of the journey, you guys are going to receive 350 experience points for reaching the island.
Nice.
And moving forward, you guys are now traveling along the Enora, this muddy brown river, dense jungle surrounding you. The foliage covering nearly the entire width of the river, as small drops of rain fall through the upper canopy, but for the most part, that canopy of trees over top of the Enora kind of keeps our adventurers out of the rain. The air is warm and smells of rich jungle earth. The afternoon passes, and the oars continue to propel the Royale along the winding river. You can see large, very colorful tropical plants on the shoreline, as well as the shimmering eyes and large rippling backs of crocodiles sitting in the shallow water, just eyes and some sections of neck and back visible.
Attack!
Want a new belt?
I gotta train this spear. Yeah.
Some gator belt?
Yeah.
Make some nice handbag. Some Crocs.
Make some Crocs.
Plus 100 experience points for making Crocs. Is there anything that our players would like to do as the Royale travels up the Enora?
There isn't like any shallow points of the water so far that you can see.
So that's a good question. The water here is actually muddy brown, not clear. The visibility is legitimately 0 feet. You cannot see into the water, and you don't actually see how deep it is. At certain sections along, you can see as leaves from the upper canopy fall into the water, it looks like there's furious splashing for a moment before the water goes still again.
It's like if we ever get in a tiffy, I can raise the water level.
Bad idea.
Higher.
Because everything
Drown the world.
shit is in the water right now.
But I'm saying, like, if we come to a low point, just raise it up a bit and keep going.
Oh, that's not an issue. We already know we can get through.
Yeah, we paid the captain to navigate through these treacherous frickin' waters, right? So...
Well, we didn't pay,
Oh.
right?
I mean, it sure felt like I did.
Your bank account a little low or what?
Wait, can I relay to Chomper that there's some grub in the water that if he's hungry he could go get?
Yeah, so the canopy of trees is actually very thick, and Chomper is just kind of sighting you from up in the air, flying over the center of the island. He's not going to swim in the water, and there's just not enough room for him to get down and in here.
Let's see.
Uh-oh.
How's our chance? Kill Fievel!
There's plenty of room on the ship.
Am I still in the crow's nest?
There is not plenty of room on the ship. Are you still in the crow's nest? You can choose to be, if you'd like. The tree foliage and the tree cover is just barely high enough to allow the Royale to pass through.
Is Hadley still there?
Yes, Hadley has other duties to do now that the crow's nest is not the most important job. You know, there's no other sails to sight. But being up and high up here is a good spot for him to spot anything like logs, deadheads, or any other type of item in the water that could cause a problem for the Royale.
Iceberg!
Gotcha.
Is there anything our players would like to do while you guys are traveling along the Enora?
Can I do a perception check and get just kind of like a sight of the scenery going through?
For sure.
Good idea.
The tree canopy is very thick and rests just above the Royale's main mast. The trees in and around are massive and are not conifer or deciduous, but rather rainforest trees that have very, they're almost mangrove-ish in their shape, in the sense that the trees have roots which all kind of connect together, and this knotted and swirling type of bark, so that jungle vines and other types of mosses and plants kind of climb up them as well. The foliage is very colorful as well, lots of greens, but otherwise than that, there are yellows, oranges, and reds, which kind of dot the landscape around you. The banks of the river, when sometimes there are banks, as opposed to just foliage, is mucky brown sand. And it's actually a lot more dirt and earth than it is sand, truthfully. The fauna that you see, in the distance sometimes you can spot snakes hanging from trees. In addition to that, many crocodiles in the water, and whenever something seems to touch the surface of the water, it seems like there's furious splashing for a moment, as many different fish rise to the surface but then disappear. They appear ravenous and vicious.
Piranhas.
Of course, we've all seen Piranha 3D.
Quippers is what they're referred to in Norian.
Okay, so piranhas, quippers,
Same
frickin'
shit, different
ship hands, deckhands. Why don't you just correct all of our language?
We're stuck in our ways.
I'll correct you when you're wrong. I'm not going to correct you when you're right.
Matter of opinion.
Gentlemen, days pass on the Enora until the early hours of the fourth day, when the ship lurches forward suddenly and members of the crew stumble. As the ship lurches again, it appears it is caught on something and then grinds to a halt.
Kill it, Dabbledub.
Leave the water.
Okay. Dabbledub, as you go to the edge of the vessel, looking over the side to begin lifting water, you recognize that The water is gone. The ship is firmly stuck in the riverbed and is completely dry.
Just around
You can
the
hear
riverbed.
the captain's quarters doors burst open. Ari stumbling out, covering his eyes from some morning light which is shimmering through the leaf canopy. And he says, I swear by the old gods and the new, whoever crashed my fucking ship, he starts to say. But then he peers over the deck and stops, looks at Mr. Vane, then looks overboard again. He says, for fuck's sakes, how hard is it to keep the ship in the river, Vane?
Are we not on the river anymore?
You are in the river, but the riverbed is dry.
No, but I'm asking is Tyson.
Oh. Would anyone else like to answer, Tyson McKay?
So shut up. No,
You guys just became friends
I'm
again.
kidding. Tyson, where it seems like the waterbed dried up. I don't know what's going on. The world's coming to an end. Panic.
Jesus.
Okay.
Calm down, Fievel. I sit him down and, give him a piece of cheese.
What kind?
Swiss.
All right. That'll do.
As if any other piece would have been questionable. Blue cheese, you fucking Nazi. Kick him off the ship.
Yeah, so I calm him down first, and then I make my way over to Ari and the others.
Okay.
Could I redirect the water?
So, Ari and other sailors are looking forward and behind the ship. It appears that behind, there is small amounts of water behind the vessel. The Royale itself is a very shallow draft, so it must have just been skating along on very small amounts of water, and then sliding into the mud, kind of firmly placing itself. You guys can see that the ship is much lower. The riverbanks are almost 10 feet higher on either side of you, but there's just no water there.
Alright, I'm gonna cast Levitate on myself and tie myself to the boat and try and pull us out.
Good fucking luck.
Okay, so Tyson McKay ties a rope to the vessel, with his boots of levitation rises into the air, and begins to try and pull the vessel forward.
I laugh.
And what happens?
Tell me more.
Really? You're asking me?
yeah. What anything happen?
Yeah, the ship is tons. It is metric tons. Not
Pull
to
harder.
mention the cargo.
Pull harder.
500 pounds, my dude. 500 pounds.
If I assist, will it help?
No.
Okay, well now can I raise the water level?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're going to try and raise the water level.
Yeah.
So which spell are you going to use for this? The Wand of Hydrokinesis?
Yeah, like I can control water, right? So
Okay.
I can raise it up to 20 feet, but I don't want to do that
Just
exactly.
raise it up enough to get us going again.
8?
How much further below the riverbank are we?
You said there's 10 feet on either side, right?
Yeah, it looks like the
Okay.
actual
So yeah, the
top
eight's
of the
good,
riverbank
probably.
where the sediment becomes foliage is almost 10 feet. You can see there's a depth of 10 feet there.
Okay.
5 then, maybe?
Yeah,
So it's
I
very,
think
like-
I think your 8 was good.
Okay. Everyone agrees on 8?
This
Yes.
isn't a democracy. Just do it.
Don't do it!
I'm doing it.
Shh, Fievel, shh.
Where the cheese? Where the cheese, bro?
Where did cheese?
Cheddar this time, buddy.
Your Wand of
allergic
Hydrokinesis,
to
just so
cheddar.
we're on the same page.
Sorry, go ahead.
A mouse folk allergic to cheddar, minus 200 experience points.
God, more than
minus
that.
a
What the
life.
fuck? Yeah.
You can choose to redirect flow,
Yeah, like I can...
causing the water to move in any direction you choose. With 300 feet, you can move water towards the vessel, and you could carry it a little bit further, but only for 10 minutes. And as the further you move down the river, the harder it's going to be for you to redirect the flow from... Like, it looks like for hundreds of feet, there is little to no water behind you guys.
Well, what could be blocking the water?
Swamp rats.
So Ari looks to you and he says, truthfully, I have no idea. I have never experienced this on the Enora before, but the river is always trying to keep you on your toes. No, there's nothing blocking the water. I mean, look, there's no water in front of us, sure.
What about damn beavers?
But it doesn't make any sense. If the water was being blocked up ahead, I mean, how is it that we traveled this far?
Tell you what, I'll fly up with my boy Chomper and we'll go scout ahead and take a look at what's happening.
Okay.
Strap the boat to Chomper and
Fly, baby,
pull
fly.
us through.
I got a question. Mm-hmm. It's a cube, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can do behind me, raise that, which will then flow towards us.
Yeah, you can choose to only raise the water there, correct.
Yeah.
In which case there will be a bunch of water and it will carry you, you're just not sure how far.
Any distance is good.
Yeah, sure. No, I just want to explain it to you so you know before you do it, right? Would you like to do it?
Do it.
Maybe explain it to
I
the...
highly doubt that's the solution to this problem he's putting in front of us, but we can try.
You mean God?
Once.
Yeah, who are you referring to, Greg Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize we were game breakers here.
Oh.
I mean, game breakers. The old gods and the new.
Well, at least that'll maybe get us somewhere, right?
In this case, I mean, it's up to you. You might want to tell the sailors you're going to do it.
Don't hold on.
No one
Surprise.
do anything. Just
Ride the
stay
wave,
unaware.
baby. Alright, boys. I'm going to talk to Cappy and tell him exactly what I'm going to do and say that I hope it works.
Okay,
Confidence, I like it.
so Ari says to everyone, "Alright, everyone. Dabbledob is going to raise the water level. I need you all to hang on. I need oars out and ready to push us off of any bank. Am I understood?" And the crewmen all say, "Yes, sir."
I believe the words you were looking for were "I, Captain."
I'll remember that.
You're going to die on this trip, baby.
Oh, it turns out Gregory rusts.
So, Dabbledob, what would you like to do?
Alrighty, so the water behind us, I would like to raise it,
Up to 20 feet.
but I don't want to raise it up to 20 feet.
Fuck it. Do it.
Just have the vessel get off the river and crash into the
Do
forest.
as much as you can without diverting us from the river. So if it's
Well,
10
that's-
feet, then raise it 10 feet.
Let's do 10 feet.
9.5 if
Okay.
you want to play it safe.
So, Dabbledob begins to use his wand of hydrokinesis, casting the spell Control Water, and trying to cause the water level of all standing water in the area to rise by as much as 20 feet. I mean, for this spell, you can control any freestanding water you choose that is in a cube up to 100 feet on each side. So, you're up to 300 feet away, you're raising the water level. Now, in the distance, everyone who's looking at the stern, off the stern of the ship, looking towards the aft, sees water rising in the Enora and begin to rush towards the vessel. The sailors all begin to cheer as some water begins to lap either side of the vessel, but very quickly, on the right-hand side of the shoreline, so at the left for everyone who's looking off the aft of the ship, you see large amounts of water gulp and swallow down into the shoreline as much of the water disappears. And though the ship is lifted momentarily and sails a couple of feet forward, the water all eventually slurps down this jutting hole in the side of the river.
See, I found the problem.
We made
No
it.
worries.
Okay, so now attack the hole.
Okay. Die, hole, die.
I have a spell for this.
Do you have a spell for this? What?
I do.
Plug a hole?
Yeah.
Well, someone needs to describe to me what's happening. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
You're blind.
Dabbledob, I'd like to hand you 500 experience points, first of all. First of all, ingenuity. Love it. Love the gameplay. You're a wizard. You're going to tackle physical problems in the world by changing reality, so I love that. And for discovering the problem. There appears to be a very large hole in the side of the Enora River.
Well, sorry, I just assumed that you would have, since we were looking at the riverbank, you would have said there was a hole. Is it a hole,
It's
or
not
is it just
directly near the ship. It's nearly 150 feet away.
ahead of us,
Behind you.
behind us?
Yeah, correct.
Oh.
So some water is still low-lying and not able to enter that hole. But yeah, it's nearly 150 feet away. And you can just see it in the river bends and curves. So you can just see where it looks like there's tumultuous amounts of water moving. Mm-hmm. You can't actually directly see the hole. It's on a curved side of the river. Now, as far as what it looks like, you don't know. It is technically on the bank or the curve. You can see what looks to be lots of sediment, which has kind of fallen away in that section. But no, you're not right next to it. You're nearly 150 feet away from it.
Okay, does anybody have a mold earth so we can plug this hole?
I have move earth, which probably would be what we need.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Covers a larger area. How big is the hole?
You guys can't see it directly from your location. You can just see where a lot of water is unable to flow.
Can I
To get out the boat.
Can I fly and go do a scout check and see how big this hole is?
So, Fievel, you would like to kind of leap off of the stern of the vessel and glide towards the ground?
Yeah, say like a decent height above. I don't want to fly right down level to the hole, but I'd say like 20 feet.
20 feet away from the hole?
Yeah, I'll just kind of get near it. I don't want to get sucked in.
Okay. So Fievel jumps off of the stern of the vessel and coasts towards the ground and flying along the riverbed. Fievel, you land nearly 20 feet away from the curve in the river, and looking towards the hole, as you can kind of take a few steps forward, you see that it is massive. The sediment kind of falling away and revealing what looks to be a tunnel structure, and inside, worked stone.
This was done purposely. Bastards.
You don't say.
It could have been a natural phenomena.
Okay. So, Fievel, if you'd like, you can, perception check and investigate it further. If you want to relay information to Tyson and them, let them know exactly what it is you're looking at, you can do that too.
Just picturing a mouse down the river like, yeah, it's a hole. How big is it? Real big.
Real big. I don't know, guys. I mean, it's a hole. So, it's a fucking hole.
Are we talking 48 mouse folks in length,
It's perfect. I can picture it already.
You have you know distances. I'll trade you 2 mouse folks of weight for 1 mouse folk of weight, gold to apples. I would like a bushel of hay that's 2 mouse folks in length. Our people just are very self-centered. Everything is in relation to mouse folks.
Alright, let's do a perception check. I'll get a little bit closer.
You walk slightly closer to the entrance to this tunnel. The tunnel appears almost 15 feet in height, nearly 12 or 15 feet in length. It appears almost perfectly square, and the worked stone appears to be these large blocks of dark gray and sometimes black stone, which makes up the flooring and the walls. Along some of the walls, you do see various carvings into the stone, and it becomes very, very dark. Past 60 feet, you're not sure if it continues on straight or goes in a different direction, but you hear these dripping and also clicking sounds from inside the cave or the tunnel.
Get out of there. Run.
Go in. Go. In.
I'll clear it myself. Can I try and chip off a piece of rock that has the carving? And I just want to bring it back and see if any of the people on the crew know of this material.
So the first carvings that you can see are nearly 6 or 7 feet inside the cave, and they're at anywhere from your chest height all the way to about 5 feet from the top of the walls.
Okay, guess I might as well just do it. It's where I can reach instead of flying and doing it. So
And what tools are you using to chip away this rock?
Well, I'm gonna fish out of the explorer's pack I got at the beginning and get a hammer.
Fantastic. So you begin to click and hammer away at the wall, trying to remove some of the carvings so that you can present it to your companions, see what they know about it. The clicking of the hammer against the stone echoes through the stone chamber that you find yourself in, and Fievel, further down the chamber, you hear a rapid clicking sound.
Oh god. Have I managed to get a piece of stone or not yet?
It looks like you're a few taps of a hammer away from dislodging a piece of stone. So you can choose to continue hammering away, or you can do as you wish.
Okay, do the few taps and bolt out of there.
So Fievel, rapidly clicking against the stone floor, the chitinous and this many-legged creature begins to run towards you. It is large in size, almost 12 feet in height, and appears almost lobster-like. It has 2 very large pincers with very sharp prongs coming out of each of its claws, and its mouth is just a slurping mass of tentacles. It is running towards you with great speed, and you're just turning and running, correct?
Yep.
Well,
Just get around the corner and close enough to the boat that we can see something's chasing you.
Okay.
Fievel, so you have dark vision, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so this creature, when you first saw it, was 60 feet from you. It barreled towards you 10 feet, we'll say, before it is that you're very quickly just deciding to turn and run. Okay, so it's nearly 50 feet from you. We're going to need to roll our initiatives. If you're choosing to fight, great. If you're choosing to run, same thing. It's just going to determine who goes first.
Yep. I have a 18.
Okay, so Fievel, you will be going first, as this creature will be going second. What is it that you'd like to do?
I'm gonna dash and use my max flying speed to create some distance.
Fievel, you are going to dash. It's going to be 10 feet out to the entrance of the tunnel here. So you're going to run 10 feet, then leap.
Yeah.
Okay, so you run 10 feet along the ground and then leap into the air, coasting again along the river's bed. How far? You can fly 35 feet, correct?
Yep.
So what we'll do is we'll count that 10 feet towards some of your movement. Then you can fly 30, we'll say 25 feet, and then dash, so doubling it. So 25 plus 35, you can coast. Now the difficult part of this is, Fievel, is that do you have full flight or do you just have gliding ability?
Full flight. Like
full flight. Fantastic.
Wings, yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so Fievel, you make it 10 feet down the hall, leap into the air, and then travel another 60 feet by flying.
So, sorry, how big is this creature? It's giant. Large. Can we hear it? Like in the tunnel?
You guys are 150 feet away and it is down a tunnel.
Well, I figured the tunnel would echo it, but no.
150 feet away.
Yeah, we're around a bend, but we don't know anything's going on.
Yeah. You do see, however, a few minutes later, Fievel flying rapidly towards the ship. Trouble! Trouble! So Fievel, you make the bend in the river and continue to fly, and you are currently 90 feet from the vessel. The crew members and other members of your troop are now able to see you and see that you are expediently
in duress.
You are flying quickly towards the vessel. Okay?
Little words, Noah, little words.
What is it that you would like to do?
I wave my hands back and forth and signal that there's some sort of emergency and hope they get it.
Okay, you are flying already, so you are already moving your hands back and forth. Is there any other way you'd like to signal that there's a problem?
Yeah, I call on my beast.
Okay. What would you like to say?
I say I'm scared. Help.
What a call.
Okay, so Chomper can feel your emotions and can also sense when you're in danger just inherently. You can hear his voice thrumming in your head as he says, "What is it, little one?"
Looks like crab people.
You can feel the questioning, or you can feel the uncertainty that Chomper has about what crab people are, as he says, "Are your friends not able to help you?"
They're marooned on a ship.
He says, "I can crash through the undergrowth, but doing so will leave me exposed. I cannot fly down below."
Burn the trees.
Yeah.
Okay, Fievel, as you kind of turn and look behind you, there is no creature chasing you.
Oh,
He's
God.
crazy.
They're gonna think I'm crazy. Did I get the piece of rock?
You did not.
I go back.
Would you actually like to go back?
No, I'll fly to the ship and try and tell them that I'm not crazy and what I saw.
Okay, so you fly back to the ship and land on the banister. Everyone is looking at you as you're panting quite heavily, and I now leave the rest up to you.
Nothing like a good day for a flight, eh, lads?
Okay, so everyone's staring at you. You just left. You flew very quickly back.
Yeah. Quit with the pleasantries. What the fuck happened?
Alright, well, there was this I don't even know how to recall it. He had pincers and he was really big and I heard clicking and next thing you know, there he was and I didn't want to get grabbed, so I just flew out as fast as I could. There's a bunch of like weird markings all over the cave and I was trying to get a piece of rock to see if anyone on the ship kind of knew what it was, but I don't know, he closed up his distance pretty fast, so I just had to get out of there.
You're talking nonsense. There's a hole? Is that what?
So in this hole, like it was made by like these creatures, I guess. Like there's a pattern of them concealing the cave, so like it's a strong built tunnel, and that's where all the water's going.
Guess it's time to extinct a creature then.
Well,
yeah. So I mean,
we could fight it, or we could just plug the hole and move on.
Yeah, but he's probably gonna get out. He's just gonna
maybe. But
if he dug that kind of hole, he's just gonna dig in it and away goes the water again.
Yeah, but maybe we can get further.
We can kill it.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm with Dabbledub. Murder is the only option.
Yes, man. I love it.
I agree. No one scares Fievel Mausentrov. Let's go kill him.
As a little...
Roll me a deception check. You just ran.
Screamed like a little girl.
Shut up, you guys don't know. I made it all up. I was scared of my own reflection because I'm so tough.
What a lie.
Okay. So Ari looks to you, Fievel, and he says, "This creature, what did it look like? What form did it take?"
It looked like a big lobster. It had claws. It was like 12 feet tall. You know, I mean, he was tall from where I stand, and I didn't really get a really specific look at him. I just tried to survive.
All right. There are two options, my friends. As Gregory said, we plug the hole and we move on. And the second is delving in there, killing whatever it is, and then plugging the hole. You're the adventurers. I leave the decision of what you'd like to do to you. Every matter that concerns this vessel is ultimately mine. But I am no expert in demolition.
Well, we'll go kill it. We'll see you in 10 minutes.
Okay, death it is.
Murder is the only option.
We should have that on a t-shirt.
And we kill the crew members.
So, slaughter on the
Getting darker.
Alright, I think the way I'm gonna get over there is, Fievel, can I just hold on to you and then cast Levitate on myself while you fly to direct me?
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Or you, I'm assuming Dabbledub is gonna do is climb on my shoulders and then either I walk or Dabbledub levitates me.
Yeah, this is way more badass.
Yeah, fair, go for it.
So, Fievel, you have Tyson McKay hanging on to one of your feet. As you begin to fly, Tyson, you're casting Levitate on yourself. And so, Fievel is just dragging you effortlessly, seemingly effortlessly, through the air.
You lost weight, Tyson?
Yes. After I was called 300 and some odd pounds or whatever you said.
Yeah, come on.
By yours truly.
Dabbledub and Gregory, how is it that you guys would like to make your way to the cave?
I'm hopping on.
Okay.
And you take it from there.
Okay, I'm running.
So you jumping off the ship?
I guess so.
Or do you want to fucking levitate? I can levitate.
Well, you can, but it's a spell slot, right? Might as well save it.
So you're jumping 12 feet off the ship.
Do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm 7
No, I'm just asking.
half feet tall.
I'm
You know,
just
a dangle
asking.
and drop.
Oh,
It'd
it's
be,
gonna how moist is the ground? Are we gonna sink?
You said it's bone dry.
I didn't say bone dry.
You said there's no water, which means bone dry. If there was a little bit of water,
No, it's gonna be moist. You know when the tide goes away?
Yes.
It's still sinky.
Yes, moist. Never once did I use the word bone dry.
yeah, bone dry. Run the tape back. Bone dry.
Run the tape back.
No, it is moist. There's muck on the ground.
Okay, difficult terrain does not faze me.
Okay, I'm just asking how you'd like to get off the ship. I wasn't fighting you.
Can you do a flip?
Probably then it'd be an acrobatics check. Why would I flip off the ship?
Do a flip!
Breaks his neck.
No, it's okay. You're a pussy. We all understand. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Would you like to jump off the ship? Jump off the ship.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So you leap off the ship, and Dabbledub is on your shoulders. Dabbledub, a little bit of a nut crunch when you land, but it's all good. And you guys are on your way towards the entrance.
Yes.
To the cave. Tyson McKay
Weapons
and Fievel
drawn.
have been there for nearly 2 or 3 minutes.
Hours.
No, minutes.
How they made it there that much faster?
They're flying. They're way quicker than you.
What's their flying speed?
Fievel's flying speed is 35 feet.
It's only
turn.
5 feet per turn faster than me.
Yeah, but 5 feet per turn faster, over 150 feet. He blew you out of the water.
Yeah!
Blew you out of the water.
You like that one, eh?
That was well played.
Building it up.
It's well played. Still don't think it was 2 or 3 minutes. Sounds like 2 or 3 seconds. But okay.
Yeah, where you guys been?
They were there a minute. Well, also, you had to leap off, and then you start walking, whereas they're just going.
Okay, we're there.
Okay.
As we're running, I'm pulling out my wand.
What's happening?
I'm pulling out my wand as we're running.
Okay. Wand of the War Mage or Wand of Hydrokinesis?
War.
Okay. Alright, so, gentlemen, you convene near the middle of the Anora's riverbed, looking towards the tunnel. It is dark, and there is some shallow water in and around your feet, literally just a few inches of water up off the riverbed as you look towards the tunnel. You're nearly 30-ish feet from the entrance to this gaping hole in the side of the Anora. You can definitely tell that, all the sediment and the earth that has fallen away from the entrance to this tunnel, it's a massive amount of earth. So whether or not this was plugged or covered, up until now, you're not sure.
Well, I'm gonna walk in there and get its attention.
Okay. So Dabbledob's gonna hop off Gregory's shoulders and begin to walk into the tunnel. Do you have dark vision?
Hell yeah.
Alright, fantastic. You can see up to 60 feet in front of you, and you see that this tunnel goes straight and somewhat down and angles down into the earth for more than 60 feet. It does not make any branches or turns left or right. You also see that the ceilings are quite tall in here. There are carvings in and along the walls. They start at about 4 feet up off the ground and go up until about 4 to 5 feet from the ceiling.
Do any of us recognize any of the carvings? Are they legible? Are they in some kind of language?
Is everyone heading inside?
Yeah, I'm obviously right behind Dabbletop, because the dude would never survive without me wearing hits.
Okay. That's good. That's good. I'm just making sure I know where everyone is.
I'm right behind him, ready to jump in the way, if need be.
Thanks, B.
Ah, you bitch.
You bitch. Come on.
I'm going to cast Stone Skin on Gregrock.
Ooh. A little bit of a team play there. I like it. Gregrock,
What does that do for me?
Stone Skin is cast on you.
Okay, I already have stone skin, but okay. Not like the spell. My skin is literally just stone, but yes.
I'm with you.
Wait, do you have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing already?
Not currently, no. That would help.
Now you do, and I honestly don't know how much casting I'm going to do while I'm blind, so that's my contribution right now.
You accidentally cast it on Fievel.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
No, buffing other members of the team is strong.
Yeah, no,
for sure.
That's a good bit. Cool. Yeah. I will take it.
You don't have a choice.
All right. Is there anything anyone else would like to do as you guys take your first few steps into the cave?
I whistle to attract the beast.
Hear me cry. I summon 16 wolves to my aid.
16?
I don't know many lobster mating calls.
So you're calling 16 wolves to your cause. Yes. Also, that was wonderfully done. Okay, so all around Fievel, 16 wolves appear.
Guys, I think there's something here.
Because
better about this already.
Because,
why not?
As a player who's been a DM, he loves to make things easy for me in terms of the number of things I need to keep track of.
Yeah, in a tunnel.
He's empathetic to the cause, which is more than I can say for many. 16 Fable, and the exact positions of those are. How many AC hit points? Are you taking care of that? Am I taking care of that?
I'll take care of it.
Oh, you'll take care of all of it? Okay,
Yep.
good. Yeah, I'm gonna kill those fucking wolves.
Bring it down a notch and just summon 6 dire wolves. I think that'll be simpler.
Yeah. See, because from my perspective, it's like, why not summon higher level stuff and a few more of them than many shit.
Cannon fodder. That's what I was thinking.
Okay. I mean, you could also summon swarms of bees or bats or snakes and literally make thousands.
Let's do it.
If you're looking for cannon fodder.
I'll fly at the cave.
4 million bees. Okay, B1 is gonna go. Yep, that's a sting. Okay, now B2.
So you're summoning 6 dire wolves. Okay, fantastic. And what would you guys like to do?
Has he not come out yet?
I ride one.
No, nothing has approached. Okay, Fievel, you're riding a dire wolf.
Yeah, Fievel, start hammering the wall again.
Yeah, do
Alright,
something.
I take out the hammer and I go back to that spot where I was getting the stone earlier.
Okay.
But I bang it extra loud. I do clicking
Okay,
of my
you
own.
need to bang it extra loud.
Click, 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 click.
Anything?
Plus 100 experience. First of all, take it, write it down. You've earned it. And second of all, no, nothing exits the tunnel, and you hear nothing from the depths.
Question. If they close their eyes when I do, like, the colors, will that still possibly stun them if they don't roll good enough?
This is a good question. I believe.
Also, I don't have optical nerves. Does this shit actually affect me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, bummer. I can't.
Because I'm gonna light this tunnel up like a goddamn Christmas tree.
No. So here's what happens.
I'm immune.
Creatures that can see you have disadvantage on attack rolls against you. In addition, any creature in the bright light that can see you when the robe's power is activated must succeed on a 15 wisdom saving throw or become stunned until the effect ends. They have to succeed on the wisdom saving throw.
Or be stunned. Shall we go deeper?
That's what she said.
Delve
Minus.
into the freaking dungeon. Alright.
Okay, I want to go first, but I have the light.
What light do you have?
The robe.
Did you activate its power?
Well, not yet.
I'm blind.
If it's only if you're in the 30 feet, so I have to be 30 feet ahead of you guys.
Oh, so you're going 30 feet ahead of everyone.
Do we still have to do the saving throw if he's up there, activates it, and then we walk into the light? Instead
Creatures
of just
that can
being
see
there
you.
when it, like, is it like a flash?
In addition, any creature in the bright light that can see you when the robe's power is activated
Is activated.
Which is the 30
must
feet.
succeed on a 15 saving throw or become
So
stunned.
if he activates it
And
far
then you
enough
walk in,
away
it's
from
fine.
it, and then we walk
Yes.
up with him.
Yes.
Okay, you go over, do your little dance, turn your robe on,
Alrighty, sir.
and we'll join up.
I'll move 31 feet away.
I stay with them.
Deeper in the tunnel.
Okay.
Tyson needs to see the light.
Maybe it'll reverse blind me.
So, walking further into the cave, as you walk along with your dark vision, and for those of you who don't have dark vision, who I believe is just no one at this point now.
I only have dark vision.
Rogars. Plus 300 experience points. Everyone has dark vision or can't see, so that's good. The writings along the walls are in runes that none of you can read. They are not Elvish, they are not Dwarvish, they are actually an ancient human style text, but not common, and you haven't seen any of them in books before, Dabbledup.
If someone could speak it, I could understand it.
Was this common?
What is this called?
Walking further, there are sometimes drawings and depictions, some of them of eggs, and some of them of eggs opening at the top, and claws or pincers exiting the eggs. Just one claw or pincer being thrust from an egg.
It's a colony. Yeah, fuck.
Let's eat it.
You hate
Cook them up
eggs.
and eat them up.
You're
and-
right.
Further down, as you continue to walk in, at this point you're at 60 feet of depth here. There
The
are...
group or me?
So you're at 60 feet, everyone else is at 30.
Yeah.
You
No, but
understand?
we were catching up as soon as he goes shining bright.
I know, but he hasn't gone shining bright yet.
Oh, okay. I thought he said he did.
Come on, light bright.
No.
Shine up.
The
light bright.
The robe of scintillating colors, the idea is he activates it, it goes bang, like that's a flashbang.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's not going to use it unless someone's there fighting him.
I thought he was just doing it to light the tunnel, but if nobody needs to see, if everybody's
Well, we all
dark
have dark vision,
yeah,
right?
okay,
But
that's
I'm doing it to stun him, hopefully.
fair.
Continuing to walk further on and in, at nearly 60 feet, Dabbledob, you stop and take appreciation, or at least looking or reading, the runes on the wall which point towards a large depiction or scene. The large depiction or scene is many of these eggs on the ground, human or humanoids, kind of drawn as stick figures in front of those eggs, and then above them all, a very large creature. The best way to describe it is two large pincers coming down, a very big bulbous looking body, and these tentacles coming out of the mouth.
Well, let's find this bitch and kill it.
Yes, this thing is, it's drawn to almost encompass the entirety of the mural that it's in. It's quite big.
They probably just make it look bigger because it's the king.
Yeah, overcompensating.
Yeah.
Yes.
You'd like to continue on deeper?
I forgot to mention you had a
perception
small
check?
wang.
Just to make sure. Like noises, anything like that. 17.
It appears that the incline becomes steeper the further you walk down and in, and the tunnel is slightly becoming larger, the square kind of widening as you guys walk down and further.
Okay, so when we were first in it, about, say, how big was the...
Nearly 15 feet
15
wide and
by
15
12.
feet tall.
Okay.
It is now reaching the point where it's nearly 18 by 18.
We shall keep going.
So you continue to move forward until Dabbledob, you look down and the tips of your feet are wet. There's a little bit of thin amounts of water, and as you look forward, you actually see that there is water completely submerging the tunnel as it continues to head down and into the earth.
Nope.
Oh, we found all the
out.
water. Tyson, head back to the ship.
I'm gonna
That's not a good
back
idea.
up 10-ish feet because I feel like can I see through the water? Obviously not.
It's very murky.
Cast lightning.
I guess
Well, actually, you know what? I'll be effective. I can do thunder wave.
I was gonna say I can do lightning bolt.
That won't shake the tunnel down, will it? It's pretty sturdy.
Oh
I
god.
mean, it seems a fairly strong and sturdy construction.
Yeah, I'm just gonna step back 10 feet.
So Dabbledob, you look towards the water and you've taken a few steps back and you see an almost shimmering and movement like underneath the water's surface.
Like the ripples.
You see ripples and movement.
Do you think the light will affect it when it's underneath?
Doubt it.
So
I'd say wait for it to come out.
a member with very good dark vision, so anyone looking forward aside from Tyson, Ayo, sees from what appears to be a side tunnel up the very top of the ceiling and into the wall. So both Gregory and Fievel see that up to the left and near the top of the ceiling, above Dabbledob, there is a hole in the wall.
Oh,
itself.
fuck. Can I not see that in the perception check?
Clicking, and no, it's very dark in here, and it doesn't, like, I mean, there are certain pockets where there's just stone that's missing, right?
Dabbledob, run! Tell me to shine bright like a diamond, baby!
Clicking and inching forward, a very large and serpentine lobster and insect-like creature with large pincers begins to click and move forward. These slurping tentacles, very still, but kind of dripping, this mucousy-like substance, as it begins to slowly inch down the wall towards Dabbledob.
Just push him back in the paralytic mucus.
And stay there. Okay, and this is where we are going to leave things for today.
Oh, God.
Thanks so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thanks so much for listening to the Dicey D20. It's been a pleasure bringing you guys this latest episode. What will happen? Will Dabbledob make it out of his conundrum with the large
Probably
lobster?
I always make it out alive.
Will his friends be able to
No.
help him? Will the 6 direwolves live up to their master's expectation? All these questions and more answered next time on the Dicey D20.
Does anyone ever live up to Fievel's expectations?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Whether it was morning, evening, noon, or night, I just want to say thanks so much for listening to the Dicey D20. This is your DM signing out.
Peace out, Girl Scout.